Yes guys, welcome. This is something that I've been meaning to do for a very long time, but here we are finally. I'm getting prepared for Crepe City Manchester. It's my first event of the year. They're huge for my small business. It's a great opportunity to sell a load of stock, meet new customers. Now there is a lot of preparation to do. People were interested in Crepe City. I thought I'd show you some of the behind the scenes, what it takes to get set up and the whole journey, the whole process to basically get prepared, do the event. I'll give you some inside details on like how much money we make, how much it costs us. Might just be an interesting thing. I've been wanting to do a bit of longer form content for a while, so let's get into it. So one of many tasks to get prepared for an event like this is to check through all my stock. At the moment, I have kind of a crazy amount of stuff that definitely needs sorting through. I want to do a full stock check, make sure that everything that's on my inventory list I actually still have. This does take a long time, so I think we're going to cut to a time lapse here. So basically in this corner is a load of unarranged stock. I've got these two big plastic tubs. They're full to the brim to the point where there's actually stuff that doesn't even fit in them. So I definitely need to sort through that. So time to crack on with a bit of organizing. The way I have my stuff stored definitely isn't the most practical, but it does work for me. So cleared a little bit more space now, as you can see, and I freed up my rail because with all of my pre-owned items, shout out to Tefal, I always steam them and it also removes any lint as well. This thing is wicked. So this is a big stack of what I call unprepared stock. Now, I've given it the once over, I've made sure it's all legit, and I've looked at the condition of it, but now it just needs steaming, hanging up for a little while, and then it'll be nicely folded and put away into a bag, and then labeled up and priced. Now, this might seem like a boring part of this whole process, and to be honest with you, it is. But I care about my business, I care about my customers, I want to be giving them the best service possible, so all these items get steamed. They probably don't even really need to be. The condition of them is pretty good, like with this one, for example. But as you can see, there are a few creases in it that I would just like to get out. I'm sure some people probably just buy pre-owned items off Vinted and eBay and get them listed straight away, but for me there's more of a process involved to make sure that all the items are in the best condition possible. So all the pre-owned t-shirts are sorted and now I found myself in this predicament. I'm going to go through everything, double check that I've got everything that I think I've got, and then sort through bits that I think it's worthwhile taking and stuff that I might just leave here that I don't think will sell at Crepe City. Sometimes I feel like I'm making more hard work for myself than really necessary, but I like to be as thorough as possible in preparation so that on the all-important day of the event, we are as prepared as can be. So a little update, I think I'm kind of done for the day. I've now packed all of these boxes with everything that I'm going to be taking with me. I picked some of my best bits out, left a few bits behind. I still need to fit everything in the car, which is going to be one problem. I'm going to come back tomorrow and tidy up a few loose ends. Right, so it's the next day now. I've done a few more boring bits behind the scene. It's Friday, so we're leaving for Manchester tomorrow. Crepe City's on the Sunday, so still plenty of time, but just doing some boring loose end stuff that isn't even really worth going on camera. This is my spreadsheet of everything I'm taking to Crepe City. Here we've got a list of accessories. These are all t-shirts. This is like trousers, hoodies, jackets, that kind of thing. And then this is all caps and hats. So in total, I've got 150 items of clothing that I'm taking, and that's not accounting for about 15, 20 pairs of trainers as well. So it's pretty safe to say that I'm going to have an absolute load of stuff. I mean, it looks like it. I've still got to fit all of this stuff in the car. So that's the next job now, which I'm going to get onto. So it was now Saturday morning and the morning that we were leaving for Manchester. With my car pretty much packed to maximum capacity, it was time to get on the road for over 250 miles and make our way up north. A journey that from where I'm based takes a little over 4 hours. For any of these long haul trips, where possible, I like to give myself a day either side of the event to actually relax and enjoy myself. One of my favourite streetwear stores in the whole country is the Streetwear Studio, where you can find an absolutely huge selection of pre-owned streetwear and even stuff like Avisu jeans and vintage football tops. They have got crazy pieces like this 2003 Hebrew Supreme box logo and one of my favourite Palace tees, which released in about 2015, and it's in absolutely perfect condition. Another of my favourite streetwear stores is hidden down this discreet alley with little to no signage, and let me tell you, it truly is a hidden gem for streetwear fans. This store's called Susie Loves Milo, and they stock a wide range of new but mostly pre-owned vintage pieces, and honestly some of the rarest and most unique streetwear items that you're ever going to see. Later on in the day, we checked into our hotel room and I did my final few preparations for the event tomorrow. We turned up to the exhibition centre where Crepe City was being held at around 8 AM. The next step is of course to unload the car, find our table for the day, and figure out how I'm going to arrange all of this stock that I've brought with me. I think it's important to display all of these items as best as possible to give myself the best chance at selling all of these items. Alright, so finally I am set up. I mean, I can't really claim too much credit for it. Tegan helped me out massively, but we are finally set up and people are about to come in about 10 minutes. All right, so the first people are now coming in. We literally are just about set up. Loads of pre-owned t-shirts starting on the left and a rail of pre-owned clothing as well, and some new bits. As we come further down this way, it's now all new stuff. brand new in the bag, Palace t-shirts. I'm giving away some Star Mix, who doesn't like Haribo's, some box logo stickers. We come further along this way now, we've got tons of caps, accessories, little bits and bobs, wallets, ashtrays, random bits, and then over here we've got loads of trainers as well, a mixture of stuff. Special mention for the CP Company Manchesters and the Air Max 90 Manchesters as well. The first few hours of any event like this can be pretty nerve-wracking, purely on the basis that so much time, effort and money has gone into making this all happen. And I've got to say, when the event starts, it's pretty relieving seeing the room fill with potential customers. I absolutely love having people over at my table, even if they do only leave with a bag of Haribo's. We sold the basement Manchester Air Max 90s within the first 10 minutes for 200, which I think is probably a little bit below, but at the same time, quick sale, £200, that pays for the table straight away. Now anything from here on is just straight profits. This rail, I've got some of my favorite pieces, like the Palace Brazil jacket, got another like Palace rain jacket. These have been really popular. These are like these rain jackets I've got. I sold a blue one earlier, this one in particular. In terms of trainers, to tell the truth, I've only sold one pair, which was the basement Air Max 90s, but definitely had a lot of interest in these, the Nocta, I think they're called the Hot Step 2s. I am still kind of hopeful that I might sell these CP Manchester. Obviously we are in Manchester, so no better place to sell these. And these have had a lot of interest, but no takers yet. I'm kind of hopeful we'll sell these before the day's out. Not to get too ahead of myself, but so far so good. We've sold about 5 items so far in the first hour, so hopefully it continues that way. Honestly, I try and keep this tidy, but it's pretty impossible. But I don't mind because people actually want to come over and look at stuff, which is totally fine. We've sold quite a lot of stuff so far. As you can tell, this is looking a little bit more bare, but I do just have a stupid amount of stock at the moment. I did actually intend to film way more on this day, but sometimes it's too hectic to remember. Taking a little break away from the action for a minute. It's about 2:30 now. It's definitely been a good day, I'm not gonna lie. We've sold a lot of stuff. It all has been for a cheap price, to be honest with you. I'll definitely tot it all up at the end and tell you exactly how much we sold things for. We just had a footballer. I didn't actually know who he was, to tell the truth, but a guy called Lucas Pires just signed for Burnley. Just bought a load of stuff with me, him and his girlfriend. I didn't get him on camera because I want to protect his privacy or whatever, but here I am now talking about it. But that was pretty cool and definitely helped boost the sales numbers for the day. He took like 5 or 6 items, which was wicked. Quieting down a little bit now. We've got maybe like an hour left of the show, so it's time for me to have a wander around, see if I can spend any of this money that I made today. I probably will. Now, maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I've got to say, if you're into streetwear or trainers, then this is definitely the place for you. The selection of items from over 50 different vendors is seriously impressive. That's kind of cool, but I think I could probably make use of that somehow. Probably one of my favorite pieces I've seen all day, the Tiffany box logo, XXL as well, rare size, 300, not too bad either. Got the Burberry box logo hoodie, the pink one, 510. Fair enough. Then we got this sage green or mint green, I think they call it. This is an old school piece. I think it's about 2 years old now. There's always a selection of some more weird and wonderful things too, like these T90s, which I actually think are pretty cool. And some people sell used trainers too, like these TNs were only 15 quid. I also came across this Palace Gucci skateboard deck, which is seriously cool and right up my street. I was actually kind of interested in that Palace Gucci deck, but it's sold in front of my eyes, so I guess some things are not meant to be, right? It was now approaching the end of the day, 5 o'clock, when customers start to leave and sellers start to pack down. It genuinely was a whirlwind of a day, and I was looking forward to getting back to my office and assessing how we did. Okay guys, so we are back now. It's been maybe 3 or 4 days since Crepe City. I've had enough time to get back, unwind a little bit, because it is quite intense. So anyway, I've had enough time to unpack the car and enough time to actually sit down and do all of my numbers and figure out actually how it went on paper. But before I tell you any figures, well, why not talk about an actual review of how I feel like it went? I'm not gonna lie, I've been to some other events before around the UK where a lot of people look at Supreme and Palace and they're not interested. I think the streetwear scene in Manchester is actually pretty good. So people do actually kind of like my products, which always helps. As you saw, like the Streetwear Studio, it's probably one of the best streetwear shops I've ever been to in the whole of the UK. Aside from any sales or anything like that, it was enjoyable. So my overall review of Crepe City Manchester is that it was very good. I did have a good time. But we're here to run a business. It's not always all about just having a good time. So onto the numbers now. All in all, we sold 25 items. Now, it's probably not my best event in terms of quantity of items sold, but I've got to say I have done some events before where I've sold a lot less than that. In terms of revenue, we took a total of £1,735, which actually is really good. It's obviously, I'm just comparing it to previous events. Still, 1,700 quid, there are no complaints there from me at all. But how much did it actually cost me to do this event? One thing that you might not realize is that these events are actually a lot more costly than necessarily meets the eye. A ticket to actually sell at one of these events is in the range of about £150. The hotel that we stayed in for the night was £125. The journey itself is about 450-mile round trip. So petrol, that's about £120 in total, 2 full tanks. There are other small costs to contend with as well, like there's a toll road on the way to Manchester. You've got to account for some stop-offs to get some food, a few coffees throughout the day, as well as obviously going out for a meal the night before the event. So for miscellaneous expenses, I think it'd be pretty fair to say it would be around 150 quid. So I would say all in all, my expenses for this event was probably about 600 to 650 quid. So yes, we did sell £1,700 worth of stuff, but you have to minus off 600 quid there straight away just to actually run the event. So was it worth it? Now the simple answer is yes. Finances aside, it gives me an opportunity to get in front of some new faces. And overall, I can't afford to have a shop. So it gives me a little space to actually have an equivalent of a shop for one day only, to actually get in front of some customers. Yes, it's great selling things online, but nothing beats a customer actually being able to come up to a product, have a look at it, even try it on. If you ask me, that aspect of things is completely invaluable. So yes, Crepe City was definitely worth it. Hopefully this video was somewhat interesting. I do realize it's probably quite long at this point, but I wanted to give a little behind the scenes of actually what it takes to run these events, and just to show you, generally speaking, like what I get up to and kind of the behind the scenes of my business. Now, it might be boring for some of you, maybe no one's even watching it at this point. I know that me personally, when I was starting out in my reselling career, trying to build a business, I would definitely be interested to watch like what it takes and how things are actually done. If you are watching this now, then thank you. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Any shares, likes, all that nonsense is always appreciated. And if this gets enough good feedback, then I'll definitely consider doing some more in the future. I actually enjoyed it. I enjoy making content in general. So enough good feedback and we'll continue to do similar things like this. That's it from me. Crepe City was a huge success. Thank you to everyone watching, and I will see you later.